Welcome to Human Anatomy and Physiology. Here's the first set of notes. Notes will be very important as far as a study tool for test taking. And I will usually give you helpful hints and say, all right, this you need to know. I'll kind of hurry through some of the things that aren't as important. So it'll be very good for you to come back and look at these throughout. So introduction, section 1, a little bit of background. Early students most likely concerned with treating illnesses, injuries, kind of more of prevention and care. Now as we get into the human body, there's a lot more of just how things work and stuff like that. Early healers, superstition and stuff like that. This will not be on your test. Techniques for observations have come a long ways. Our class, my personal class at Sanborn Central, we go to the cadavers. That's an awesome observation tool that we use. Dissecting cats, dissecting hearts, things like that. D, Greek and Latin are still the basis of a lot of the big terms in anatomy and physiology. So if you can break some of those terms apart, or if you wonder why would they name this that name, it's probably because it comes from Greek or a Latin base. Scientific method, if you've taken any science class at all, you've probably learned about scientific method, how we gather information, how we organize information, and put it all together. When we look at anatomy and physiology, anatomy itself deals with structure. So you're labeling exercises. Here is where the femur's at. Here is where the humerus is at. So it's the structure part of the body. So basically it's naming the different areas. In this section we'll be looking at like quadrants. Your left upper quadrant, your right upper quadrant. Cephalic deals with head, dorsal deals with back. It's finding where certain parts go. Physiology looks at function. So, all right, here is my femur. How come it is the largest bone? How come it's shaped the way it is? Why is it built the way? Because of its functions. It has to hold a lot of weight. It makes a lot of blood cells, things like that. So anatomy is structure, physiology is more of function. And if you take this in college, a lot of times they'll break this into 2 semesters. So anatomy would be the first semester, physiology might be the second semester. Obviously the 2 are closely related. The way something is built completely affects what it does, or vice versa. Its job is going to affect the way that it's built and where it's at. Anatomists look at observation, dissection, zoology, zoologists. If you go into the medical field, I'm sure you'll be working on cadavers. It's more common to discover new information in the function or physiology. We are not discovering a whole lot of new parts to your body at this point in time. Levels of organization. This, to me, relates to biology, so you've probably seen this before. The human body is the sum of all its parts. So I start small and things build and make up different levels. So if we start at the smallest and we're looking at chemicals inside, atoms would be the simplest or the smallest. When I start putting atoms together, I get a molecule. So hydrogen and oxygen atoms make a water molecule. Macromolecules are large molecules. Sugars, fats, proteins are macromolecules. And then organelles are the little structures inside of your cells. So the nucleus is an organelle. Mitochondria is an organelle. They have a specific function inside of that cell.
Can I run to my car and get money at lunch?
Yep, that's
Okay,
fine.
thanks.
So the organelles are inside of the cells. The cells are the basic unit of structure and function. So organelles are inside of the cells. When I start to take cells that work and function together, that builds tissue. So if I look at my heart is an organ. Inside of my heart, I have heart tissue where a lot of cells work together to cause it to beat. So I have specific heart cells that have a function. They build tissues, and those tissues will build an organ that has a specific function. Groups of organs working together will make a system, and we'll talk about that. So the cardiovascular system or circulatory system will include your heart organ. It'll include your blood vessels, your arteries, and your veins. And then the organ systems all work together to make an organism. So if I look at an entire human being, I'm going to look at the digestive system right here as one part of the organism. The stomach is one part of that organ system. This would be tissue that's lining the inside of the stomach. Here would be one cell inside of this tissue, organelle inside of the cell, macromolecule, molecule, atom. So whether you start from smallest to biggest or work your way backwards, that's the way that they both work. And I will stop there for right now.